Hey, welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Ultimate Affiliate Marketing. I'm your host, as ever. It's Paul Motley here. And today, I have someone who helps people create courses in his own words. No fluff here. It's Joshua Brown. Hey, Josh, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm pretty good, man. Pretty good. It's super cool to get you because I know, well, as we just explained just before we started recording, I'm having some serious Wi-Fi issues right now. Don't seem to have any connection, and it's an absolute nightmare. But I just love to get on these interviews sometimes and let people understand, what else there is going out there, what they could be doing, what they should be doing. Because, I mean, have you been in part of affiliate marketing yourself before?
I use it modestly in my business. Like, for example, I teach people how to build courses, and that involves membership and software and things like that. And like any good affiliate marketer, you only promote things you stand behind. So like, for example, right now for my front end, I use ClickFunnels. So I do affiliate marketing for that. I have some software from a few of my friends who actually do things like Google Chrome plugins, and there's some affiliate with that as well. But it's just like with so many businesses, it's a great value add for your clients as well as your own bottom line.
Yeah, totally. And like you said, the best way to do any sort of affiliate marketing is to not only be a user yourself and an advocate for the product or service, but for you as well. If you've got a program, then have some affiliate products on the back end as well.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, it's like places do that anyways, and they're going to select something. And if you stand behind it, you might as well help them with it and get a little bit extra too. And it doesn't hurt anybody, and it adds to your bottom line. So it works out great for everybody.
Yeah, of course. I totally understand that. And I think what people have got to understand is that even though you might be receiving a commission, the people are not paying anything extra. That you're just getting a commission directly from the vendor itself. You're not charging people anything extra to get that. So that makes a lot of sense. But I want to dive into, because literally before we started recording, you said you had there's no one getting zero completion rate. So do you find that a lot of people which create courses have people that join that don't actually then go through with it? Is that what you're trying to touch on there?
Yeah, most definitely. In fact, industry-wide, and this even includes colleges and universities building courses, when you add in all of the for-profit courses and everything, and you aggregate it together, it's single-digit completion rates for courses. And this isn't just, the little fluff ones, $7 offers, even $97. This is all the way up to expensive products. And it was one of those things from being a professional educator for a decade. I have a master's degree in education, and now consulting with 6- and 7-figure entrepreneurs. I noticed from my professional background and now being in the entrepreneur space, there was a disconnect between professional educators, what we do, and marketers who are selling the courses. They weren't talking to each other because marketers need to teach educators how to get their across, and educators need to tell marketers how to actually get results. And that's what I'm doing. I am acting as that bridge because I do both. And it's been a really fun journey, and educating entrepreneurs and how to get results and helping new entrepreneurs sell their products, whether it be a front end offer for an affiliate, because that's a great way, educate people on your product, then they want to use it. Yeah. Or somebody who has, a 6- or 7-figure coaching business, better productize their information. So I work on both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. So
thank you.
What do you think? Yeah, take a bow, man. Take a bow. Yeah. What? There you go. For illustrated sakes, Josh just did a bow. Right. So, you got to remember on audio. It's okay. So it's all good. It's all good. So what do you think differentiates what you do to what most people are doing? Because there's a whole ton of courses which help people make and sell courses, right? We're hit with those Facebook ads or YouTube ads all day long, right? And there's so many people out there. Yeah. And, and just because people are spending more money on advertising and you see them more often doesn't make them any better than anyone else. That's my perception.
No. And in reality, most of those products selling how to make course courses are the same rehashed stuff. It's almost all the marketing because, well, if you're seeing it, it's prominently produced by a marketer. And that's part of the course business. You eventually have to sell it. And there's, of course, really two big camps on that. There's the organic side, and then there's the paid side. Both have their positives and negatives, but all of them put so much emphasis on the selling part that they forget they actually have to make something, and it has to be good. And if you take the time to learn, for example, like everybody spends time on the sales psychology and NLP and sales, funnel optimization and all of these things. And what's the perfect formula for your Facebook group to get maximum engagement and all this other stuff. But then they give them this product that just kind of falls flat, and they don't understand how to build that product with their knowledge. And in particular, it's even harder for people that have been doing it for a while to filter, to give the best nuggets of that information to be transformative, that they forget that ultimately they still have to have a product to give it to them. The analogy I like to give is it's like, for example, when a car company only gives the emphasis to the marketing team. We're going to throw all this marketing stuff out there. We're going to give them this bright, shiny outside so it looks like a Ferrari, but then it just drives and runs like, a budget automobile. It's a great lead up, but when they hop in it, they're like, what the hell is this? You got to get the people that do the stuff under the hood equally as involved as the people that make it look good.
Yeah, I understand that. And to be honest with you, that's a great analogy, because Ferraris are exactly like that. They look great on the outside, but then look and feel terrible on the inside. That's my own personal experience, right? Driving a California before, I just found that the inside of the cab was terrible. It was just like
outside's beautiful.
Yeah.
Inside's a train wreck.
That's fine. Yeah, you can hit the loud pedal and go past everybody looking fantastic, but inside it's a little bit like are you imagine like a 1950s rocket ship would be, with all the switches and stuff. I just didn't like it. I'd stick with the Aston Martins myself, but that's just me.
Good choice. And we could jam on cars all day long. I'm a gearhead, so yeah.
But that's fine. I've got a Mustang myself, which is kind of like a Marmite car. People either love them or hate them, but that's been.
I've got a 1966.
Oh, really? Oh, very nice too.
Yep. In fact, it's sitting right underneath me. I'm on my second floor office in my garage, right underneath me.
Oh, that's great. Well, my car's 50 years younger than yours, so. But the fact that yours is still running just is testament to the actual quality of the vehicle. Anyway, God, we could do this all day, couldn't we?
Oh yeah, we could. There'll be a separate podcast. We'll just jam on cars.
There'll be something else about business and that later on. Just
there's some analogy in there.
We'll just keep going with it. That's great. Fantastic. So what was it how long have you been doing this for a start, about helping people create the courses? What do you think motivated you into starting doing it? Because you must have seen other people doing it already.
Yeah. Well, let me give you the quick elevator version of how I got here. When I got out of college, I owned my own business, consulting in the production world, light, sound, all that stuff. And I loved it. Market fell out, very similar to like it was now. Everybody was spending money on other things. And I got burned out on it because it was one of those, got burned out on it, a lot of reasons. And I decided to got into sales, did sales for a while, and then wanted to make an impact on the world. And I thought, what better way to do it for me and my mindset than to be an educator? So I did what's called career switch here in the US, where basically if you already have a master's degree, I actually had a master's of education from Virginia Tech, which is one of the nation's leading education institutions. Already had it, didn't use it, got my license and started teaching for 10 years. And I taught what was called technology education, which my area was video, graphics, photography, and had a heavy emphasis on curriculum and delivery, because it's very much like what you do online, where you're delivering very specific skills and you have a very finite time to do it. And I eventually hit the wall and was just like, horrible pay. I did my time, gave something back to the world, and decided to move online. And I literally started looking at everything. And I took some paid courses. I did some free courses. I networked with people. And I noticed a consistent theme. There was a lot of really high intentioned people that loved what they were doing, had great experience, and they even marketed it well. But ultimately, what they were delivering wasn't getting them the results they could. Or there were people that weren't technologically inclined who couldn't get what they were able to do to market. I knew from my technical background and with my curriculum background, I could do that. So I started doing what everybody does in the coaching space. I started working with people one-on-one, started reaching out to experienced people and started showing them. And the result kept being the same thing. They were like, holy cow, I never thought about that. Dang, you in 3 minutes, you explained what it took me an hour and a half to do. And I noticed a need. And it's something that people are starting to now notice with more and more courses on the market, that quality now counts. Before, when you were the only person in the game, people were kind of putting up with the same things, hour-long PowerPoints with voiceovers and a live training somebody puts in their course. And those have their places, but not for a productized version of your coaching, whether it be for group or DIY, or even for materials for your large group, even a mastermind you want to give them later on. They were missing those tips and tactics because they're not intuitive. You need to know educational psychology. You need to know curriculum design, all of those things. So I found my niche. So I help people now, not only with the technical end, building out their funnels, starting their marketing. And I spent a lot of time up front learning it and mentoring with the best in the industry for that. With my already prior experience, so I put those together so I can help people anywhere along their entrepreneur experience, but ultimately rooted in courses and programs that get results.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, yeah, I know I could quite easily see you could talk about that for hours because it's very passionate to you. It's very passionate for you. And
it is.
If people have been listening to the podcast recently, that is something that one of the things that I've noticed is that people start off and they just don't have a clue. And then they start trying several different things out. They'll start seeing some results. Then they'll start leveling up. They'll get better results. And eventually they get to a point where they want to start teaching and they want to start showing because they've got these results, because they start posting it out on Facebook. Hey, I got $100 yesterday, or I got $5,000 over the month, or whatever it is. Yeah. Naturally, the magnetic side of results, or at least showing people results, starts pulling people in, and then they're like, okay, right, yeah, so you want to learn how to do it, but and I've been in and I've seen, and in fact I've even created a few programs myself, which I wouldn't say have been the best things out there. There are better things, way better courses out there than certainly what I've produced, crikey, but what other people have produced. And when I've been in and I've seen course A versus course B, because I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on courses, I can tell you.
Yeah,
and
same
you've
here.
probably done the same thing, and you've looked at it from a completely different aspect of looking at it from, okay, right, I see what they're doing, I see what they're trying to do, but this is how they could do it better, right? And I'm guessing now that's what a lot of people that I'm talking to on the podcast at the moment is making that next step into being a product creator rather than just an affiliate as well. Because not only can you then scale that up and have JV partners all over the world, but you can build up a consistent and profitable email list with it as well. That's kind of what we were doing.
Yeah, and that's exactly what everybody should be doing. They should be looking at ways to level up what they're doing and expand their reach. And that's ultimately what the biggest goal is, I think, for anybody in the industry. And courses in particular, and when I say courses, people think that's just standalone DIY products. If you have a group program, you need to have something for them to follow along in between those sessions. Or even if you're doing one-on-one, to have them and have a resource that they can go to, that you're not repeating yourself over and over again. Like if you say, hey, I don't know how to set up my autoresponder, instead of having to sit there for 20 minutes and go through like, oh, hey, I got this great tutorial for you. Here it is. It goes through all of it. You can stop and start it and go right along and implement it. Great. But even when you're doing things like that, it's still delivered in a certain way, and there's finesse to it. Just like there's finesse in copywriting or doing an ad or a pitch, each thing, each piece of your business has ways to optimize it. And that's starting to be one of the consistent things in the course world. People are starting to realize, like, oh crap, there's like 20 people that are prominent doing affiliate courses. How can I make mine stand out? Have a great offer. That's one. You got to have a great offer. But ultimately, if your course delivers and it crushes, then people are going to sell it for you. They're going to be like, holy cow, this is the easiest thing in the world to go through. And I got results immediately. And then they're going to tell all their friends. Then the testimonial is easy to get. They'll probably give it to you. And on top of it, you're getting some great numbers with it. And ultimately, you fulfilled your promise as being a creator.
Yeah, I totally get that. And I think that at some point or other, there is a shift that happens within people, especially if they start out with affiliate marketing, because initially they're just thinking, how can they make money? But then at some point, there's a shift where you think, okay, the money's nice, but what impact can I make on other people? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, can I, if I look back on my life 50 years from now, if I'm still around, touch wood, 50 is probably pushing it a bit for me. But, it's like,
no, man.
Can I look back and think, I helped so many people achieve their own dreams, rather than, oh, I've got a nice big bank balance, but I'm on my deathbed. What's the point in that? So, and that is, I think I've seen a lot of people do make that shift. And that was something that I went through probably 2.5 years ago, where, the money coming in was great, but I could have just, and I've said this to my partner several times, I could have just switched off from being on the internet totally and just carried on, completely in the shadows, not a care in the world, and just watch that money come in each month. But it was a shift that I've seen other people make, and that's what inspired me then to do it. People like Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, and even Russell Brunson with what he does as well. It's an impact that you can have on other people and other people around the world, which should drive you forward to making the best of yourself and delivering and implementing the best type of courses or programs that you possibly can. That's the sort of thing that I like anyway.
Yeah, it builds out your entire ecosystem of your business. You can have different moving pieces that all work like an orchestra. And if you have your central offer and what you do honed down, productized for consistency, that's the liberating part. You're not constantly having to grind it out. You, like everybody in this industry knows, if you build systems and processes and products that make your business and your life better, it adds consistency to your business. It adds resources that then you can outsource certain pieces of it to, again, allow you to be a creator, not just a consumer and a pusher of your content. You're actually engaged with it, and that's where you start getting the real impact.
That's cool, man. I mean, the timing of this interview is absolutely spot on for what we've been talking about for the last week or so. So I've been babbling on. I don't know if you've heard any of them, but
the universe hits us sometimes.
I'm just babbling on and talking about this, that, and the other, and it was all aiming towards this. So having you on today has been absolutely fantastic, perfect timing, and especially those people that have been listening for the last few days or the last couple of weeks. It's all almost building up to this point. So it was great that we managed to get it on, especially as my time zone knocked me completely out, and I wasn't sure we were on.
That's the fun part about the world, is that you can literally be across an ocean and multiple time zones away. You can still connect to another fellow entrepreneur who's trying to make impact too, and is making impact, and reach each other's audiences. So that's one of the epic parts about the modern entrepreneur world.
Fantastic. Awesome. Listen, Josh, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you give us your best shot right now. I'm going to put you on the spot and say, okay, right, well, we're going to let Josh tell us his website in a minute, but I want you to give us like maybe the top 5 reasons why they should come to you if they're looking to produce their own content.
Well, the big thing for me is I'm looking at people that want to actually make an impact, not the get rich quick people not, make a course overnight and start selling it for 5 figures. They actually want to build something with quality and longevity, that their product is the central axis of their business. I want people that are actually experienced in it, who have been doing it for a little while. And I'm not saying you have to be doing it for 5, 10 years, but at least gotten into it, gotten actual results. Because we all know there's all those people that love to, fake their Stripe accounts and all of those things. Actual real results. Again, short term, fake, not your guy. If you want to actually be able to build an entire ecosystem, I'm for you. And if you want to actually get results for your clients and bust free of those single-digit completion rates in an easy to follow format that you don't have to reinvent all of your content, I'm your guy. And if you want to be able to have a scalable product and an opportunity to not only create amazing revenue, 6 figures and beyond, with a coach that has instructed literally thousands of students and has now worked with a lot of people, which, courtesy of NDAs, I'd love to be able to name drop right about now, but I can't right this week. I can do that very soon. And then I'm your guy to bring your course and coaching program to the masses.
Fantastic, man. I love that. And just as the guy behind us starts drilling up some tiles, you can probably almost hear in the background. But anyway,
it's COVID podcasting. It all works. No worries.
Josh, what is the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Well, I am all over various social media platforms, but the easiest way is my landing page, which is jkbrownofficial.com. That is jkbrownofficial.com. You can also find my Facebook group, which all of your listeners are welcome to join, where I drop trainings in there and giveaways. In Facebook, just search for the Course Creator Launchpad. And I can be found in there doing trainings every single week and having guest interviews and all that fun stuff that all good Facebook groups have.
Fantastic, man. Listen, I'm going to make sure that we get all those links so I can drop those into the show notes right away. So if anyone's listening, just make sure you do subscribe to the podcast, because we do these every day. And on Sundays, you've got me. Other days, you've got fantastic guests like Josh here. And, I'm going to actually make sure that he adds me to his Facebook group so I can have a good snoop around, and I'm going to report back on it again for you all tomorrow. So
awesome.
For now, Josh, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so glad we got this done. As I said, perfect timing. Really enjoyed it, man.
Well, thanks for having me on. I love to share the message of courses and network with other entrepreneurs. So if you're listening to this podcast, make sure we connect. I'd love to hear about your journey and how I can help you move forward.
Awesome, man. Okay, we will catch you all again tomorrow.